Hi, I'm Michael Bean, and this is your myfreeactingclass.com lesson from a little cabin on Galliano Island for Thursday, August the 6th. Today we are talking about story and story structure, going through the story questions with a short script. This is Two-Line Auditions Are the Hardest, Part 2. This one actually is a one-line audition, and I want to really illustrate the importance of making really clear choices in something like this when you only have a single line of dialogue. Yeah, we've done SOC or silent on camera auditions before where there's no dialogue. Last Thursday, we did a two-line audition. Today we are doing a one-line audition. This is from a show called Bates Motel. So we've got the script here in front of us. Actually, Christina, if you've got the script right in front of you and already open on your computer, do you want to try screen sharing it so that we all can all see it?
When I do screen share, it says like sign in or sign up for that thing. So like.
Oh, you can't do it even though I made you a co-host?
Mm-hmm.
Alas. What about you, Maddox? Are you able to screen share since you're a co-host? Okay, perfect. So just use the little screen share screen button in the center of the bottom, and share the script with us. And then where everybody watches the video, you'll be able to see it too. Perfect. Excellent. Yeah. So here's what we've got: exterior street day. Sarah is exiting the dry cleaner with some laundry. Her head is down. She's lost in thought, worried. She accidentally bumps against a pedestrian. Kevin, that's you.
Sorry.
Yeah, I guess.
Screw up.
Something about that just unleashed some rage in her. Something about being judged for something so tiny in the middle of the maelstrom she's trying to get through. If you were doing this and you were a younger person and there was this word maelstrom, you would just look it up, and it just basically means a storm. She turns to the pedestrian and loses it, yelling,
"Screw off, dickhead!"
On an emotional Richter scale, she's at a 9, and the incident and the comment were around a 2. The pedestrian, scared, thinking she's insane, hurries off. So these are the actual audition script for the pedestrian. You're pedestrian, you're walking, you're not expecting this first. All right, so we talk just understanding the arc of it just by looking at the script. Your head is somebody comes out, bumps into you. Then she freaks out, melts down. You think she's insane. It says you're scared. You think she's insane. You walk up. So Maddox, if you can close the screen, and, we'll come back. So we can come back to seeing everybody. Perfect. And then from here, if we're looking at the pedestrian, now was one of you able to find the trailer for Bates Motel? Anybody? Yeah, somebody's got it. But Christina, you said you are not able to screen share with us.
Let me try. The other one, like it said, like it was blocking off my like. Well, let's see if I can do this one.
It's a little green arrow. It's right in the center at the bottom of the screen. Since you're a co-host, you should be able to.
Okay, let's see.
Ta-da! Power. Good. So.
Do you want me to click on it?
That's not the.
Is that it?
No, I want you to cancel the screen share. No, that's not it. Thank you. Not on IMDb. I wanted you to go to YouTube and find the short trailer. So Christina, can you close your screen? There you go. Perfect. So it's fine. We don't, but if you look in the top corner of that screen, Christina, it'll say, what is the style of the show? It'll say right there.
Okay, so it's like drama, horror, and mystery.
Drama, horror, mystery. Great. And so if we've got it on IMDb, then it makes life so easy for these story questions, right? And the story questions template, I've got it right here. I gave it to you last week as well, but I've got it here again. Just waiting. Come on, copy. I know that it doesn't fun, doing slow things and like give you a running dialogue. Sent it. So Christine, you said the style is horror, drama, mystery. Is that right? Perfect. So that's the first thing on our template. The next thing on there is the writer's story. So the writer's story is, lady bumps into you, turns out to be crazy. Your story, if you're playing the pedestrian, and I know it seems super straightforward, but I think it's important if you're going to play the pedestrian to decide what's interesting or what's important about that. Is it the scared and you can start by using what's in the script, right? You can go like, okay, is the scared that's important to me? Like, lady turns out to be scary. Whoa, homicidal maniac. Is it that is it the insane, the interesting thing to you? And I mean, again, this is just using clues in the script. It's like, I'm just having a normal day. Whoa, you bumped into me. Kind of judgmental about that. And oh my God, you're insane. Is that more interesting to you? Or is there something else? Now I had, and I probably told the story before, but I had Martina from Candice Elzinga's office come in for a workshop for one of my classes last year. I believe it was last summer. And I had her clarify for me this thing about taking risks, because casting directors often talk about like how you either should take risks, or how they don't want you to take risks, and they'll actually often say both things back to back. And so she clarified for us that what she meant, at least, and this is Candice Elzinga does a lot of casting here. They're based out of downtown Vancouver. Was that they want actors to take risks in terms of showing themselves in the story, but they don't want actors to take risks in terms of altering the story. So all casting directors have horror stories about like the actor who just randomly did a backflip for no reason, even though there was nothing in their character or script that would include a backflip. I've heard casting directors tell stories about, oh God, people bringing silverware and cutlery and wanting to like set the whole table before they're seen. Sue Browse used to tell a story, she's not casting anymore, about an actor who came and started to hang drapes in the back and then got like really upset when she wouldn't let him hang the drapes before he did his scene, which is just a totally next level of, actor insane, right? So like, if you've had bad auditions, they've never been that bad. So like, you're probably okay. Man, if you were here when Carrie Santamersky was our guest, she told the best, like, wasn't that the best horrible audition story? So none of us are ever going to match that one. For the moment, we can play with scared or insane. Now the arc of the story, I think I already went over when we were looking at the actual physical script, which is not expecting it, boom, person runs into you, you're super judgmental, and then she's scary or insane or both, right? And one of the ways you can get more arc in a scene, and this isn't a required, but this is something that I use in class all the time, I use personally with auditions, I think is very, very effective, is start as far away from where you want to go as possible. And it's actually an improv tool. I actually did professional improv for 4 years before starting to do film and TV. I didn't start doing film and TV acting until my early 20s. And in improv, when you're telling stories, they just start as far away from where you're going as possible in order to make the story more interesting. So because you're going to get to scared and insane, start somewhere far away from it. Start, focused and businesslike and doing your own thing, or start like, having a fantastic day and just enjoying yourself walking down the street. So there you can find your moment before, which is what happens right before in that. And so then we get into descriptive words me, and we actually have nothing. We have no descriptive words for the pedestrian. So you're making this up. And so something that I said last week that I don't think I've talked about in these lessons enough, but I think is important or useful, is that if you are, basically, if you have all of the options, if you can choose anything when you're deciding on your descriptive words, then choose words that fit you, right? Like they're calling you in. So instead of like, oh, I've got this great idea for the pedestrian. So like, let's say Maddox is going in for the pedestrian and he's like, the pedestrian is like business-like and on his cell phone because he's a stockbroker. And it's like, wait a second, but like Maddox is 12. like it's going to be real hard to believe that like he's a stockbroker, so if your idea does not match who you are as a person, it's a good idea to readjust it. Like if you've got the option, readjust the character to fit who you are. Right, so Deb carrying a present for them, and I'm having a great day, and I like the lady makes me drop the thing on the ground, or I'm worried that it breaks. Whereas Maddox might be like, I don't know, I got my skateboard, or maybe like Maddox's style is not more skateboard, but like he would pick something that was right for him, and you can fully include that. You have so much more options in terms of physicality when you're doing auditions at home too. Right, like in a normal audition, you would never want to bring a skateboard in. But if you've got one that you use all the time, and you're recording in your living room, I don't know. My personal opinion is why not? As long as the audition doesn't become about the skateboard, then you can very easily include that, and have it be part of it. Let me just check the chat window because I see that there's a question in here. Do people audition for one-line role? Is the audition only for one line, or is it usually longer and also for other possible roles? Great question, Elaine. People absolutely audition for one line roles. You will be asked to do audition tapes for one line roles. You will even be asked to do audition tapes for no line roles. And if and when they're doing auditions in person, they will hold in-person auditions for either for one line and for no lines. And so it's like everybody's going in for the audition, everybody's like super wired and got lots of adrenaline in them. And the auditions themselves take 30 seconds. Right, so you're like, right, it takes you like half an hour to get there, and you wait for 20 minutes, and you're like trying to like calm yourself down, and then you're like in the room and out of the room so fast that you're like, what just happened? It's one of the reasons why figuring out all of the story and making all these choices around a one-line audition can be so grounding, because then you're like, oh, right, I'm an artist and I'm telling a story and it happens to be only one line, as opposed to I'm just a cog in a machine. I go in, I deliver these 3 words, I'm out. If you're telling a story, then you're doing the fun part, of our job, but you're also like doing the job of the actor, which is to be a storyteller, in my opinion. Descriptive words. Now because I can only see a few of you at a time, somebody throw some descriptive words at me, or like Ezekiel, if you're going to be the pedestrian. I haven't heard from you in a while. Ezekiel, give me 3 words, that you might, or some of the words you might use to describe yourself if you're just walking down the street. Fun, crazy, energetic, loud, fast, slow, something. Uh-oh. Even though you've unmuted yourself, Ezekiel, I can't hear you. I don't know if that's, a tech issue on your end or my end. Nothing? Okay. My volume's turned up as high as it can go. What about you, Quinn? If you were this pedestrian and you wanted to tell this story, what descriptive words would you choose for yourself?
Enthusiastic.
Perfect.
Happy-go-lucky.
Great way to start. So far away from insane. Yep. Right. What about you, Maddox? If you were doing this one, what descriptive words would you use for yourself? You're thinking about, oh, right, I'm like this.
Energetic.
Yep.
Talkative and friendly.
Great. And so maybe Maddox is like ad-libbing a conversation on the phone, with somebody when the lady runs into him, right? And like the reason that he comes across, super snotty, is because he's in the middle of a great phone call. And maybe in order to because in order to for Quinn to make sense of his choices, he's got to decide, because the next thing is descriptive words about the other. So if we decide, if Quinn's doing his like, enthusiastic, happy-go-lucky, we still have to realize the writer's story, which is you come across super snotty and judgmental. That doesn't even have to be that way. It means you have to come across to the other character that way. So the way that I like to make sense of that is you adjust the world as opposed to adjusting yourself. So instead of playing a result, you're like, okay, so the lady is like aggressive and she hurts you. Like she runs into you, and it's physically painful. And she gets right in your face, You know, and so what you're doing is just like setting a boundary. You're like, whoa, yeah, back off, right? Maybe you're saying, yeah, I guess, but what you're really saying is like, ow, you really should apologize. It comes across judgmental and she loses her mind, you know, and then maybe it makes sense. You know, now we could also do like, let's say Kevin's doing it, you know, and he decides, okay, that he's going to be, business-like, you know, and conservative, you know, and he's like, well, I'm not like that all the time, but I am like that sometimes. You know, Kevin's like, yeah, when I'm in this specific work environment, you know, like I'm business-like, I'm conservative, you know, I'm focused. And in those situations, if some, you know, lady comes and smacks into me while I'm in the middle of an important work meeting, then yes, you know, I'm going to judge her. I'm going to be like, watch where you're going. Yeah, and so maybe that helps him play it, right? So do you see, so that's where we would make decisions for the lady. The script relationship, two pedestrians, the personalization, you know, and this is, you know, I'm just going through the 10-point list. It's the last thing, the chat window, if you want to open it up. Actually, can one of our co-hosts pull up the 10 sheets just so that anybody who's watching this video at home can see what I'm talking about, not just get the words? You know, what is that thing I hear and I forget, you know, I see and I remember, I do and I understand. It's one of the reasons why I keep, you know, trying to get you to throw demos, but, you know, Maddox, if you've got it, are perfect. There we go, thank you. Excellent. Right, style, write a story, and you just want to scroll down there. Perfect, descriptive words other, the script relationship, you know, and then if we get to the personalization, which is the next thing down, if you want to scroll down to those last few, the personalization is, what is it in your personal life that helps you empathize with the feelings behind the experience? So that example that I gave of Kevin's version, which I'm just utterly making up for Kevin because I haven't worked with Kevin as an actor yet. Of like, what is in his personal life that helps him empathize with the feelings? Maybe it's that. Then the last thing, you know, what do I want? Objective. And this is where it would be useful to throw some possible objectives into the chat window so that people have them to reference for later. Maddox, can you close the screen share now? Thanks so much, co-host, for helping me out today. This gives me hope. It means that, you know, if I can get you to help me out like this, then as long as I've got 1 bar of service, I can teach this class from anywhere. Yeah, power. I feel really excited about that. Right? Like, wouldn't it be fun, you know, to like, you know, just have videos of the class from just like all sorts of strange places? You know, I'm like, so I'm on the back of a motorcycle and I'm trying to talk to you about acting. You know, what's your character want? You know, like, and in this case, I think it is important to make a decision, you know, and because you come across as super judgmental. You know, and so how do we translate that to an objective? I think we translate it to like, I want you to leave me alone, right? You know, or I want you to apologize, you know, or like, you know, and so that takes us into objective phrases like, you should be ashamed of yourself, you know, or like, watch where you're going, you know, or you suck, right? You want short, emotionally charged. It's mostly about the effect that it has on you. You know, it takes you into it emotionally. Anybody else, you know, got thoughts for the objective phrase? Right, we're just thinking about things that might be effective, and you often can't know them until you try them out loud. You know,
watch where you're going.
Sure, watch where you're going. You know, like or you're nuts, right? Like anything that's going to help you get into that space of really judgmental in a way that makes sense for you. You know,
like,
or pardon me?
Like, you're so clumsy.
You're so clumsy. Exactly, right? And maybe Christina's like super nice and would never say this to somebody on the street, but maybe Christina's babysat little kids before, right? Like, and I don't know, like because my son's 11, so it's been a while, but like, you know, when their kids are really little and they just like make a huge mess, and there's that moment of like, like, what are you doing? You know, which if you gave to somebody you didn't know on the street, that experience is super judgmental. And so, especially in Canada, with my younger clients, I'll often use that as an example. I'll say, well, yeah, you're probably never that judgmental, with people. But have you ever babysat really annoying little kids? Like, when they just won't go to bed, or somebody kicks you in the shins or something. Like, there's that moment of, you're like, oh yeah, okay, that kind of judgmental, right? And then when you apply that to an adult, it comes across like you're a jerk, without you having to play a jerk or be a jerk. You actually are basically deciding that they're a jerk, and that's why you come across that way. And that's still well within the story. So can I get somebody to volunteer to demo this for me? Oh, perfect. I saw Deborah and Maddox. Great. So let's start with Deborah. So Deborah, can you arrange your camera so you're standing up?
Am I still just using the 3 words?
Yeah. Your only line is yeah, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
And you want to get the chair completely out of the way. My advice on this is exactly start a little further back, or off in the corner, and then tilt that camera up.
Tilt the camera up.
Yeah, tilt the camera up so that you can walk into it, right? So that you can walk a couple of steps in, because if walking in and then suddenly having the lady get right in your face, now she's not going to bump you. She's going to just get extremely close to you. So that there's that moment of like, whoa, watch it. Does that make sense? And so just deal with the lady who's right in your space. You're going to need to decide on a moment before, on sort of remember you're going to stay far away from like being super scared of her, and then you're going to need to decide what you do after. She yells at you, and then you what? So you're going to need to make that decision. Now inside of that, what objective phrase is interesting to you? Is it watch where you're going?
What the hell are you doing?
Good. So now really commit to that. Look at me and really say, what the hell are you doing?
Now? What the hell are you doing?
Right now.
Okay.
Yes, please. Good. Now that's you trying to feel. Now just shout it at me.
Okay.
Just shout it. Just get it out.
What
Less
are you
thinking,
doing?
more saying, Deborah, just say it.
What the hell are you doing?
Good, exactly. Now that's what you're going to put underneath that line. Beautiful. Now that's what you're going to put underneath that line, but you're going to start just having a great day. You're going to go see your grandkids. Like everything's great about today. You feel great. Good. Stand by and action. Oh, God. Sorry. Cut. Let's do it again, Deborah. Remember your line is, yeah, I guess. That's the only thing you get to say. The only, good, but good. She's like, you see how effective it was? She was so fired up. That's exactly it. Good. You're going to see your grandkids. It's a great day. Stand by and action. Oops, sorry.
I guess.
Hey, screw off, dickhead. And then she's scary. She's scary. She's insane. She's insane. Oh God, what do you do now? Get out of there. Right. So it says she hurries off in the script. Great, great attack. So judgmental. Interesting, faster and more aggressive. Maddox, you're going to demo. Yeah, get standing up for me. Perfect. And then we'll see like a completely different version of it. And literally, the pedestrian can be almost anything. Where like it actually doesn't say, like it doesn't actually give a gender for the pedestrian. It doesn't give an age for the pedestrian. So you might go into this audition and Deborah and Maddox might be sitting next to each other. And both of them might be thinking like, why am I here? Like this is, they must want this other person because I'm so different than them. Okay, great. So same thing, Maddox. What objective phrase is interesting to you, sir?
Watch out, idiot.
Yeah. So instead of watch out, idiot, let's go with don't be an idiot. Say that. Try that.
Don't be an idiot.
Yeah. Now, did everybody hear how there was more feeling in his voice when he said that? And then again, now that we've seen Deborah's sort of moment before, moment after, remember that you've got to be scared, think that she's insane, and get out of there at the end. So as long as we're realizing what's in the script, everything around that is up to you. Most people doing this audition who haven't had this particular lesson or haven't gone through this level of detail, it'll really, like, the audition will be over. The line, it's all over. if you bring in the physicality, and especially if you bring in the reaction, as long as you're doing something interesting at the end, they're going to keep rolling the camera for those extra couple of seconds, and then maybe we see more of your acting than everybody else's. Take it from the top. I would say, again, I would suggest exactly perfect. Stand by and action. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Wait, no, what's wrong?
Of course, it's yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Good. And I would say even more, whatever text you're sending, really enjoy it. Right? Somebody just sent you a fun meme. You're taking a snap of yourself and putting a weird caption on it. But like, let's see you starting by enjoying yourself, so we don't go judgmental, scared. We go like, enjoying my life. Judgmental, scared. Stand by and action. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, screw off, dickhead. Look at her. She's insane, and she's getting right up in your face, and she's really scary, and she yelled really loud at you. Yeah, great. I guess because I have such poor reception where I am, there's like there must be an incredible lag between what I'm saying and Maddox hearing it. So he covered really well for the fact that there was such incredibly long pauses between when my lines were supposed to happen and when he actually heard them. Great. So you saw a couple of different versions of it. That's half an hour. Let's wrap there for today. Tomorrow, you've got Michelle Krieber, and I promise I will talk her through all of the actual technical things. And Michelle's going to come in again, I think, next week, and so is Liz. I touched base with Liz. She's like, "Oh, if it's my fault, I'm so sorry. Like, of course, I'm still in." So we'll have more of Michelle and more of Michelle next week. I hope you have a blast with Michelle, and I'm going to see who I can find from my list of producers and things to be a guest for us next week. But you'll have me on Monday, and the rest of it I'll have posted on the website by Monday at the latest. Have a great week, and I will see all of you on Monday. Bye, friends.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.